Hello, I'm Doug McConnell. Well, I've been exploring the Bay Area all of my life, and for many years in television and in other media, I've been telling stories about our magnificent parks and open spaces that have been saved by dedicated and visionary people and are now freely accessible for all of us to enjoy. Along the way, I had a chance to see quite a bit of the diverse and spectacular Mid-Peninsula Regional Open Space District. Midpen, as it's called, is huge, covering more than 62,000 acres in San Mateo, Santa Clara, and Santa Cruz counties, with more than 200 miles of popular public trails, giving everyone plenty of room to roam in all kinds of ways. And Midpen doesn't stand alone. It's part of an even larger mosaic of protected and interconnected open spaces right in the midst of one of the busiest metropolitan regions in the nation. All of this together is a rare and grand gift of nature in an urban area. And from the ground, it's hard to grasp the sheer size of it all. Recently, my crew and I had a tremendous opportunity to get a bird's eye view of how large and lovely this natural living landscape truly is. And we really were blown away. We flew and photographed around it for several sensational, eye-popping hours, and thought you might appreciate the next few minutes of what is, quite literally, a short highlight reel of our aerial adventures. We hope you settle back and have a great flight and maybe gain a renewed appreciation, just as we did, for how lucky we are to have these natural treasures right in our own backyard. We begin our aerial odyssey above Midpen's Ravenswood Preserve and Cooley Landing at the edge of the bay in East Palo Alto and just south of the Dumbarton Bridge. We turn north and west, flying over Palo Alto and Stanford, above Interstate 280 and the Filoli Estate, skirting the green foothills that many local residents have worked hard to preserve over many decades. Just north of Filoli, we change course towards the west, cross Highway 35, Skyline Boulevard, and head towards the coast. Looking south as we go, we notice few, if any, structures and roads as far as the eye can see. It's hard to believe that this rugged and natural landscape, much of it in the public domain, is only a handful of miles from our busy urban lives. Soon we come to the familiar San Mateo County cliffs and coast, extraordinarily dramatic and beautiful at this elevation and in this light. As we track south, we turn inland less than a mile to circle one of Midpen's new agricultural lands, leased by a local family to raise grass-fed beef for local consumption. Then we swing out to the shore one last time above San Gregorio State Beach, before flying east inland along Highway 84, with unobstructed views of the extensive open space legacy that thrives here thanks to the public support of Midpen and other public and private partners and agencies. Almost before we know it, we're circumnavigating Windy Hill, high above Stanford and Palo Alto. In 1977, Windy Hill was Midpen's first acquisition and open space preserve. Now Midpen owns and manages 26 preserves in 3 counties, 24 of which are open free of charge to the public from dawn to dusk every day of the year. Turning our sights southward, we see Midpen's Montebello Ridge and Preserve above Mountain View, and then fly for many minutes over a seemingly endless and stunningly dense forest, much of it thick with redwoods, in the Santa Cruz Mountains. Its scale and wildness looks like landscapes I know in the remote far north of California, yet amazingly, this is just a stone's throw from Silicon Valley. Turns out, ancient trees and 21st century technologies can be good neighbors. Eventually, the Lexington Reservoir, west of San Jose, comes into view. We cross Highway 17, and soon enough we find ourselves approaching one of the most famous landmarks in the South Bay, Mount Ummanum. During the Cold War, this mountain was an Air Force radar station that housed an entire community. Now Mount is part of Midpen's Sierra Azul Regional Open Space Preserve. Midpen is in the process of removing all of the abandoned military structures you see below, except the 5-story radar tower, which will remain for now. When finished, the top of Mount long closed to the general public, will be open to us all. On our way back north towards eventual shutdown, we see Los Gatos below, and the homes between there and Saratoga that climb toward preserved open spaces in the hills. Finally, we fly abeam the Stevens Creek watershed and the San Andreas Fault, before angling a bit to the north and the east and crossing Midpen's Montebello Ridge and Preserve. Looking north towards the green foothill backdrop of our modern communities, then passing over Stanford and ending where we began, above Ravenswood and Cooley Landing, we're struck by the wisdom and dedication this region has shown to create and grow such an immense open space legacy. It's a generous and far-sighted gift. It's ours to enjoy for now and to nurture and pass along for generations to come. To find out more about the Mid-Peninsula Regional Open Space District, please visit our website